Hi everyone, how are you? No battery. And I thought I was charging it all this time. So, I don't know if I'm gonna be a long time today, because I don't really know if I'm gonna be able to be seated much, if you know what I mean. So so I don't know if you see me like moving constantly around. It's basically because this is not being now my best position to be. As much intense it is, the faster it heals. So basically what happens is that my spirit and my soul, my spirit and my soul, they want to be here. They are fine. I have no emotional and no mental conflicts. But my body, he doesn't want to be here. My body wants to leave this place, and I just realized about that, and now I am trying to speak with the body to see how to work with it. So that's what it's supposed to be. I don't know how many times have you seen a person teaching spiritual consciousness with hemorrhoids in YouTube, but there's always a first time. Okay, so let's begin with the topic for today. So today we are related to the third eye. So our topic for today is vision. Vision. So let's go to the very point of the third eye, because of the joke, but I am not in the best moment with my third eye, basically. So let's try to make it straight. So talking about the evolution, our bodies has been designed to survive in this environment, to adapt to the environment where we live. So in order to adapt, we have to realize the distances, where are the enemies, where are a place to hide, where is the food. So we have to know how to move in this environment. So some beings evolved in a way in which they can perceive by the touch, by this, like the cat, the mustache of the cat, to perceive the vibration around. So they evolved on feeling this vibration. Other ones by the touch. Other ones used the hearing and the sound. So they would create like this sonar. So the objects would be reflected like a echo. Okay. So like this echo. So in this sonar, they would know where are all the things around. And another ones used some cells that were very sensible to the light. So this light that was going all around, captured by these cells, you can measure the distance of the objects and the size of the objects around you. Okay, so this is how some animals evolved in using the sight to perceive the photons, so you can measure the distance around you. So as much these cells, these photosensible cells evolve, they will be absorbing, perceiving different frequencies of this wave of light. So the light can be in different frequencies, so you start to perceive these different frequencies, and you now can see colors. So the eyes starts to evolve so they can perceive not only the distances of the things and the shapes of the things, but also the colors of the things. So in this evolution of seeing, of watching things with our eyes, we started to evolve as mammals and to perceive not only more colors, but also to develop our brain to perceive much more data than only the colors. So this is how the humans became intelligent. And that's the difference that we have from the animal kingdom. Okay, we became intelligent. So now we will try to understand what is intelligence, so we could understand why our way of seeing also has changed. So intelligence comes from the word inter, that is between, and ligere, that means to read. So intelligent would mean to read between lines. Okay, so the thing that we have different from other animals is that we can interpret things, that we can give a meaning to the things, that we can give a concept or understand concepts behind the things that we see. Like, for example, a lot of people would recognize that the color red is not only red, but also represents stop or danger. And if we see the color green, it would mean you can keep moving, it's okay, it's healthy, whatever. Okay, so we give a meaning behind the things that they are. That's why we are intelligent. We can read between lines. Like in poetry, you have a poem, but what the poem is describing is not exactly what it's saying. It's a concept behind that you have to understand behind it. So the relation that we have between the intelligence and the sight is that as we evolved trying to interpret with intelligence all the reality, we needed more and much more information, data, to understand the environment. So we need to capture the shapes, the colors, the depth, everything that we have around, so we could perceive exactly or specific information. So this is what makes us intelligent. So intelligence is the ability to interpret concepts that are behind the things that I can see. So there are many kinds of intelligence. You can use any intelligence, but they all means exactly the same. It's not only about thinking. Intelligence is interpretation of concepts. So through billions and billions of years of evolution, we designed 3 different ways in which we receive and capture data from around, from the environment. The first one would be the subconscious, the second one the unconscious, and the third one the conscious. So to picture how these 3 are, we can see that there is a big sphere, which is the subconscious. Then we have a smaller one inside, the unconscious, and a very tiny one in the center, which is the conscious. So those would be kind of the size, so we can picture how they are. So I would say like the 70% of all the data that is coming to us, that we perceive from the environment, the 70% of it would be absorbed by the subconscious. And this is something useful. This is something useful because through thousands of years of evolution, millions of years of evolution, the body, remember, needs to save energy. So in order to save energy, it evolved in a way in which it says, I won't make you waste energy on capturing data that is not useful for your consciousness, for what you are doing. So I will let the subconscious to be in charge of all that information. So you don't have to think about it all the time. So that's why the subconscious is in charge of most of the data that you receive. So so one of the things we would say, like, we naturalize these things, and we say, oh yeah, there's all around me there are things like there's a bed, there's a table, there's water, there's this screen and people commenting. But all this information and everything that I have around, all this data is not perceived by you, because otherwise you would be like constantly thinking about everything. Even the air you're breathing, each time you have to breathe, the liver working, the intestines working, the heart beating, all the data that is inside, that is around, all that. Imagine if you have to think of everything that is happening constantly. You won't be able to live. So that's why the subconscious is absorbing all that information for you. So the next level will be the unconscious. The unconscious is the other way in which you store information. And that would be, for example, when I am talking right now, I'm speaking here about this concept, and you're not thinking about each one of the words that I say, because you already know the language. You know English or you know Spanish, so you understand the words. So you don't have to think of each word that I say. You're just capturing the concept, okay? The whole concept. So all this idea, all this concept that you are having is something cultural, because you have learned the language, you know the language, so you share that data with others. And also, for example, the way in which you are absorbing and receiving information is different from each one of us. So the information you are, the information that I am saying, depending on your family, on your beliefs, on your religion, you will be understanding this in different ways. So maybe I say one thing and many people here are understanding different things from what I say because of that. So all that data is encoded in the unconscious. So the last one, and the tiny one, will be the conscious. The conscious is the one that, for example, I'm saying something and suddenly you say, now I got it. I now get this and that, how these are connected. I know the origin of the problem, and I know now what do I have to do? How do I have to solve this? You know, it's the one that takes all this data and goes and acts specifically in what it has to do. Okay? Now let's relate this with the eyes. So, according to the site, the eyes, everything that we have in the universe, everything in the universe is light. Everything is photons, particles of photons. They are moving all around, they are creating everything constantly. So if the spirit is one in the universe, so light is a way in which the spirit is expressing itself. Okay? So light is this concept of the spirit. But then this light is perceived with different shapes and colors. These different shapes and colors would be the different frequencies. The different frequencies in which this light is moving is what we perceive as energy, and also what we call soul. So the soul is the way in which you perceive the divinity around. And this is why by the eyes you receive the spiritual light, and you perceive the soul of the universe by the sight. And this is why then you reflect it into the outside. So that's why we say that the eyes are the doors or the windows of the soul. Because you are reflecting constantly this information of the soul and the spirit. The soul of the spirit of the universe. So, talking about the sight, when we are talking and speaking about what we see, when we point into something, watching straight to something, we are aware. So this is the conscious of ourself, the conscious watching something, okay? Perceiving something. Because you are putting your intention on watching that you have in front of you. So if my two eyes are pointing in one specific spot to focus in something, so now the unconscious will be like this. So you can perceive the peripheric side, the vision of the peripheria. That you are not paying attention to that because it's not the main goal. You just know that there are things around, but it's not your main goal. It's around. And then you have the subconscious one that goes all around with things that you don't know, with things that you don't even see, like the air, like you are not seeing. Okay? So your eyes are watching all of that. So we are in a time when we are talking about the awakening of the consciousness. So the awakening of consciousness means that we have been sleeping and living through the unconscious for a long time, that we have been perceiving our lives through the lives of others, projecting ourselves in others. They are that others are guiding what we are supposed to be, what we are supposed to do, what we are supposed to see. And now the awakening of consciousness is when you go inside and start to watch what is inside of you. What is the vision from your own spirit? The gland that is related to going to sleep and wake up is the pineal gland, which is in the middle of the brain, here in the third eye. So the awakening of the consciousness means that, according to this gland, that everything that we have been doing until now is by the unconscious, and the unconscious is because of other people, because of the group. So this means that I have projected my consciousness into the outside, reflecting me in the others. So it's an outer way of vision. So the awakening of consciousness would be exactly the opposite, to go within, to perceive my side, my inner side of the vision. So how can I go into the awakening of consciousness? It's not by going outside of the unconscious. It's by opening my spectrum of vision, not only perceiving the outside, but also the inside and everything. So that would be through the subconscious. And basically, this means that it's not about to get away from the unconscious and to become conscious, is to understand the unconscious through the subconscious, because the subconscious has been storing all the information that I have been denying my whole life because I was willing to live the lives of others. Because of this, the subconscious was storing everything that I needed, but I wasn't paying attention. So in the subconscious, I can find all the clues for my wisdom. So to become conscious is not to deny the other types of conscience and become aware. No, it's to open my vision spectrum and to perceive all of it. So all the information that I need to understand myself is registered, is recorded in my inner cells, in my cells, in the information that each one of my cells have, inherited by all the thousands and billions of years of all these animals and the tree of life and my family that I got until now. And it's all storage in my peripheric vision of the subconscious. So we have a lot of information that we can take from the subconscious in order to become conscious. So different ways in which we can start to activate this information. So paying attention to the dreams, of course. Also doing exercises with the eyes, making movements around in circles, up and down, and watching farther, watching closer, practicing with the eyes constantly. And of course, one of the things that I would recommend is to put yourself in front of a mirror, close to a mirror, and stay there for a while, the time you think is necessary, and watch yourself into the eyes non-stop, constantly, and that with the time will awake a lot of information around from the subconscious, and it will show up, and you will start to see shapes and information that you have there in the subconscious, okay, that your body have seen and that you have it there. It doesn't matter the time. Some people will need just a minute, some people will need 1 hour, I don't know. It doesn't matter exactly how long you are doing that. Important thing, don't be afraid doing this exercise, okay? Because they are just memories. It's not something that will come to you and blah, take you. It's not energetical. It's memory from your cells. So sometimes you remember being an animal or horrible things, but they are not coming to you. They are just memory in your cells showing through the sight, okay? Important thing, I know that in history a lot of people have created this stories about demons and other portals and things in the mirror, so we are afraid to watch and like Beetlejuice and all these things. So in the unconscious we have this image but they are portals, there can be something wrong. Yes, mirrors are portals, of course, and maybe there is a demon in the other side. But if I see a demon, I just say, good morning, good evening, I am here to work with myself, so hi, bye, and focus in your own self. Don't be afraid, don't keep with all these stories, even if they are true. Just don't pay attention to the bad part of it. We have to learn how to live with that. We have to go through, okay? And that's it. Don't give so much power to the stories of darkness, okay? Otherwise you will never find your light because you are afraid, okay? So as always with respect, but never stop. The information for today, I lost the information for today. Okay. The vibration for today is Cha. Statement for today is I am the mind's emptiness. The code for today is the subconscious experimentation. Here is when the cosmos of time turn around in experience. For everything it's already been expressed. Thus, a stationary and changeable process occurs that we call experimenting, which covers actioning, reacting, acting, living, feeling, and feeling. Everything driven by pre-established patterns that I can't control, for they are the basis of my basis. They are all my past united, acting in synchrony. Let's go to the alignment. Focus. Take a deep breath as you begin doing a massage to all your body from the crown to the feet, being aware of each part of your body. As I caress the body and massage the body, I tell to it that everything that I am doing is for its greatest good. And I start to imagine myself inside a forest or a rainforest. I relax, taking deep breath. Going deeper into this forest until I perceive the shadows getting darker and darker. I pay attention to the sound of birds, insects. As I see tiny little ray of lights reaching the ground in between the leaves of the greatest trees. Inside, in the center of this rainforest, I can perceive this beautiful and great huge tree, which is the tree of life. As I get closer to it, I perceive how below its branches everything becomes like night, and above the sun lifts its light, came through the leaves, creating thousands of stars. I lay down on the roots of the tree as I watch above towards the sky, to the leaves. As I am laying down in the roots, I perceive the mud in my back and how I start to be swallowed slowly by this wet land, feeling the mud between my hands, surrounding my legs and arms, my feet, shoulder. I become like a root of this tree. I recognize that I am part of this tree of life, and within it I can find all the information of all the history of everything that I have ever been, in different lives, different realities, families. All of that lives within me. I become aware that the only way I can perceive, I can see all that information and history is if I allow myself to fall deep into the void of my mind. As I pronounce this sound, I allow myself to see all the things that I have within, hidden in my shadows. Cha I am the mind's emptiness. I am the mind emptiness. I am the mind's emptiness. There is nothing else than the plenitude that I can feel being part of this tree of life, watching everything that I can see within it. I desire to see what I really am. I am the physical body where all the visions of the cosmos incarnate. I am earth and water. I am mud. I am humus. I am human. With my hands I start to take this mud from around and take a bath in it, covering each part of me with these minerals and salts from the mud that nourished the tree of life. And I come back here and now. Thank you everybody for being there, and always see you tomorrow at the same time. Bye.